So today we are going to be covering Fragrance World, the one and only Golden Nights. And I'm sure in typical Fragrance World fashion, you can tell what they're going after here with this one. And that would be the One Royal Night by Dolce & Gabbana. And again, I've said this before about some of their other cologne presentations as well. And I mean, even Lattafa Alhambra has kind of done this as well. But they're getting these so close now that if you were just to flash this up on the screen really quickly and not allow the viewer to focus in on it, you really wouldn't be able to tell a difference. Once you start looking close, you can tell that there is a difference. The shape of the cap. Now, this is a 150 ml bottle, the Dolce & Gabbana. This is a 100, so the size of the bottle is going to be a little bit different, but that's to be expected. But I mean, they really got these strikingly close. I mean, even down to the color of the bottle, the cologne is slightly darker. But I mean, in most lighting scenarios, you're not going to be able to tell a huge difference. That's quite impressive. And one thing that I do like about this style of cloning is that it makes it easier to go into it blindly, because when you get into some of the Armafs and stuff, it gets completely random. You know, they have Club de Nuit, a whole bunch of different ones, and you never know what they're going to be a clone of. It could be anything. And so when you have a bottle that looks similar and you have a name that also is kind of a spin-off of that clone, it gives you a very good idea of what at least they seem to be trying to clone. And then from there, you can purchase and see if they're getting it close or not. And I have to say, I've tried quite a few Fragrance World clones so far, and they have all been very good, way better than I expected, and this one is no exception. So let's go and jump right into this. We're going to start off with how it smells. And it smells very similar to the One Royal Night. Now, what's the difference between Royal Night and just regular the One? It's very important to establish this. And essentially what they have done with this DNA is they have taken out the tobacco, which to me is kind of the heart of the scent. I love that tobacco in the One. It smells amazing. They have taken it from us there. You still get a lot of amber. You still get a little bit of cardamom off the top, a little bit of a warm, spicy kick. But notably, what they have done is they have really put the sandalwood note forward, and you focus in on that a lot. So it's creamy, it's sweeter. All in all, it's more smooth. You know, the tobacco in the One, EDT, EDP, does give it a little bit more of a rich, masculine, kind of sharp edge to some degree, I guess if you wanted to explain it that way. It gives it more texture. And not everyone's a fan of tobacco, even though it's a relatively mild accord. Not everyone likes it. It does make the scent a little bit more abrasive, but it's still a very smooth scent. But when you compare something like the One, you know, the original EDT, EDP to the Royal Night DNA, there is a noticeable difference in how smooth and silky and creamy it is. Now, for years now, I've been saying that the One EDP is one of the best date night men's fragrances ever created. And I still, to this day, believe that. I would say that and La Nuit de l'Homme Eau de Toilette, the OG, those two of the best date night scents ever. And they still hold up in 2023. But if you want something that's even a little bit more intimate and a little bit more smooth, then you could go for this DNA. And so the one and only Golden Nights, the clone here, opens up the same way. You know, you are not getting any of that tobacco, but instead you're getting that sandalwood, amber, cardamom, creamy sweetness with the hint of a spiciness. And it smells great, and they nailed it. They really did a great job. I got this one in, tried it for the first time, and immediately I was like, they did it. You know, they have done it again. You know, they are delivering. They're not just taking the bottle and the name and then giving us something random. I don't know why they would do that, but maybe a brand would be liking to screw with us or something and do that. But they're delivering on kind of what they're alluding to by the presentation and the name, and I respect that a lot. You know, you take a look at something like Fragrance World, Supreme L'Homme Extreme, and Supreme L'Homme EDP. Those are L'Homme Ideal clones, and they're really good. There's Strong With You Absolute clone. I can't remember what it's called. So many, and they've done a great job on all of them. Now, working further into the dry down, more of the sandalwood starts to come into play. Again, kind of focusing on that creamy sweetness. You're still getting some of that amber. The cardamom spice does start to die down a little bit. And so, ultimately, it is Royal Night. You know, they're cloning that. And minus the tobacco, you still do get the One DNA. It still does smell like Dolce & Gabbana The One. It's a true flanker in the fact that it's working that DNA into something different. They're taking that scent, that backbone, and just tweaking it, making it a different wearing experience for a different situation or a different individual. And I think that's something to be said in a positive light about what Dolce & Gabbana has done with their exclusive editions. They're not making them redundant by any means. And so because it has some of that original DNA, what I really like about this is essentially you're able to jump into this for a little bit of a lower price and get better performance than the One EDP. Yes, seriously. And I've said that since the very beginning of talking about Royal Night. Royal Night does perform better than the One Eau de Parfum, which is fantastic. The only downside is you have to live without that signature tobacco accord. But if you're someone who absolutely despises the One because of its lack of performance, you could go for Royal Night or now for the clone and get that better performance just at a cost. And speaking of cost, again, this one here, Golden Nights, is going to run you in that $30 to $40 range. Now, the One Royal Night, being that it's an exclusive edition, is a bit more. Now, it's not as much as something like Luminous Night, which is super rare, or Mysterious Night, which is up there a little bit more in price. It's one of the more readily available exclusive editions, but you're still going to be looking at, I don't know, $60, maybe $70. So it's not horrible by any means, and it's not like you're saving a ton of money, but it is an option for you, especially if you're looking for performance and you just don't want to spend that much. So what could you wear the One and Only Golden Nights for? You could wear this for any situation in the evening, casual, formal, whatever. I think it's going to work for you. And I think it's going to be more suitable for the cooler times of the year, fall, going into early spring, winter time, of course, whatever. Not to say that you can't wear this in a summer evening. You definitely can, especially because it just seems like it always gets cold in the summer, even still. In the evenings, if you're out late, especially if you're in the wind, you can get a little bit chilly. And so if you're going to be out late at night, going to a bunch of whatever it is that you're going to do, you could wear this and it's going to do fine. If it gets down to about 70, that's what most buildings are kept at during the summertime and maybe even in the winter. And you can wear it when it's that mild temperature, no problem. This definitely wouldn't be a choice to wear in the blazing heat of summer, but, when it starts to cool off, go for it. Ultimately, I think this is going to serve as a fantastic date night scent through and through. If you want something that's smooth, seductive, sexy, interesting, and mysterious, you can go for this one at a price that is going to be less than the real deal. And at the end of the day, you have a bottle that you're not ashamed of. A lot of the clones, again, their presentations can be a little bit out there, a little bit off, and frankly, they just don't match up with your general designer presentation or even niche presentation. And so generally, those clones or maybe ones that you push to the back, because when you have people over, you don't want them to see that. You want them to see your expensive Tom Fords and all of your other YSLs and Gucci's and things and Chanel's, right? You don't want them to see the $20 to $30 clone bottles. Good news for you is this doesn't look like a $20 to $30 clone bottle, even though it is about a $30 to $40 clone bottle. Pretty cool. And really, quality is fantastic as well for the price. I wouldn't expect anything more. It really does a great job of representing this DNA. Now, a couple things here as we round this one out. First of all, I mentioned the One Luminous Night. It's hard to get. If you get on my mailing list and my texting list, if you hit the first link down below, put in your email, sign up, and send any text to the number down below, you will be added to those lists, and you will be notified anytime something rare, discontinued, or hard to find comes into stock, or when any big sale comes up. And a little sneak peek here, there's a big sale coming up in a couple days, exclusive to you guys only, my audience, and so you might want to be on the mailing list for that, and the texting list especially. And also, this one hasn't reached discounters yet, as far as I'm aware. I bought mine off eBay. So if you want to wait around and get it off of like Fragrance Buy, I'm sure they'll get it in at some point. And as soon as they do, I will shoot out an email and a text for you. Basically anything that you're trying to look for and get that you're missing out on because you're at work and doing important things and you're busy, I send a notification straight to your phone. You hop on, you hit the link, you purchase, and back to whatever you're doing. Boom, it's easy. All right, that's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. Look at those presentations. Wouldn't even tell the difference. And we'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.